The ancient Egyptians built a lot of pyramids, and you're probably familiar with the famous ones at Giza. But for my money, the coolest one is actually this. This is the bent pyramid, constructed on the orders of Sneferu around 2620 BCE. Sneferu was the father, we think, of King Khufu, whose government commissioned the Great Pyramid at Giza. But in the days of Sneferu, they were still figuring out the architecture and design of these magnificent monuments. Before Sneferu, kings were building these, step pyramids, which are made by gradually decreasing layers of masonry. But sometime during his reign, Sneferu's architects or engineers had a grand idea. What if we turn that step pyramid into something straighter? There's actually some debate among scholars as to why they did this, but the most popular hypothesis is that it's religious. Around the time of Sneferu and his descendants, the sun god Ra was becoming more and more prominent in royal imagery, and it might be that the design of the true pyramid, with the straight sides, was meant to represent the rays of the sun. Unfortunately, that's still a hypothesis, although it's fairly popular among scholars. Whatever the exact motivation, Sneferu's architects tried to convert the step pyramid design into a true pyramid. Their first attempt was this, the pyramid at Meidum, which was initially a step pyramid, and then they tried to add layers of masonry around it to make it into a true one. It didn't work, and later the Meidum pyramid collapsed, which is why it has this distinctive shape. The bent pyramid came next, and again, there's actually some debate as to whether this design is an accident caused by faults or damage in the foundations, or whether it's intentional. We won't get into that right now, but the result was this interesting design with its two-layered shape. After the bent pyramid, the royal architects were able to construct the first true pyramid, which is just a few hundred meters north of the bent pyramid and is called the Red Pyramid. After that, they constructed Khufu's pyramid at Giza, then the pyramid of Abu Rawash, then the pyramid of Khafra, also at Giza. What's interesting about this is that, archaeologically, you can track the developments of pyramids through history. Some people will like to tell you that pyramids came from nowhere and that they were just invented randomly one day by some unknown force. But the truth is, archaeologists have been studying these monuments for a very long time, and they have a fairly robust picture of the history of the architecture, how the Egyptians were figuring things out, what ideas they were testing, and what worked and didn't. The bent pyramid is an excellent example of that.